Welcome back to Inside Post Challenge, part of the Road to the Breeders' Cup, sponsored by Adequan. This week we're going to Presque Downs to take a look at the Presque Downs Master Stakes. Hi everyone, I'm Tom Law. I'm joined by Ed DeRosa. Ed, summer racing is pretty much winded down. We're now into fall.
Yeah, Labor Day's over, and you and I were lamenting earlier the dearth of Grade 1 races in September after Labor Day. It used to be a really big month on the Breeders' Cup scene, but all that shifted to October and August, so I guess that leaves us with Presque Downs.
It does leave us with Presque Downs, our first foray up to western Pennsylvania.
A little sojourn.
Yeah, Presque Downs is the fourth running of the Presque Downs Master Stakes. I believe it was the inaugural race when they first opened the track.
It was not.
It was not.
They did offer it the first year they were open.
They did. Okay,
yeah.
Well, it's the fourth running.
Right.
We're going to the filly and mare sprint division. We're getting away from the sort of the classic division, the 3-year-old male division.
Mm-hmm.
We're going into a different division, which we're going to do all along on Inside Post Challenge. We're going to stay with, various divisions, turf divisions. We could have went to the Bowling Green this week at Belmont Park. There's a couple maybe possible Breeders' Cup turf contenders that may come out of that race. We really wanted to go to a division that we haven't talked about in a while. Actually, we landed on a race that actually drew quite a lot of interest.
Yeah, absolutely. This race, if you look at the starters, I definitely see several of these having not only being in the filly and mare sprint, but having an impact in it. And I'm not sure that's going to be the case with the Bowling Green. So I'm glad we're heading up to Erie. And last year's winner and champion Informed Decision headlines this group.
Yeah, you mentioned Informed Decision. The part I thought was very interesting about this race is actually you got the first 3 finishers from the Vinery Madison Stakes in here, in Dr. Zick and in Dubai Majesty and in Informed Decision. Informed Decision was making her seasonal debut when she ran in the Madison Stakes, which was on poly track, going 7 furlongs out of Keeneland. This race here, we're going to go 6.5 furlongs, again on a synthetic surface.
Right.
A tappeta surface is up at Presque Isle.
Yep.
But like I said, this is a prep race for the Breeders' Cup filly and mare sprint. You got Dr. Zick in here, who I'm not really sure that the race sets up too well for her.
No, I don't think so.
Given that she has a lot of speed, Dubai Majesty might be able to sit that pocket trip, which she was able to do in the Keeneland race and got up for second in there. And then Informed Decision, I think the race really sets up for her, and I know you like her.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the type of horse you really want to go against. Seems like she maybe isn't the same horse as last year, but that ballerina was kind of odd, and she sort of ran into a similar situation last year with the slop, and this year it was more a merry-go-round, and that really dulls her late kick. But this race, a lot of ones on the left-hand side of the past performances. I can't imagine a race shaping up better for Informed Decision. Dubai Majesty also comes off the pace, as you said, but this is 6.5 furlongs, and her best work has by far been at 5.5 and 6 furlongs, and Informed Decision's undefeated in 3 starts at this distance. So to me, if Jonathan Shepard drew up the terms and said, this is what I want for my horse to run her best race, this would be it.
Well, it's interesting. Last year I actually covered the Breeders' Cup filly and mare sprint, and obviously Informed Decision won the race. After the race, I remember talking to Jonathan Shepard. You look at all her races, they all came about a month apart, maybe 5 weeks, sometimes 6 weeks apart. They ran her in the ballerina last year, like you said, in the slop. Then they turned right around in 2 weeks, ran her in the Presque Downs Masters, got her right back on track.
Exactly.
Before the Breeders' Cup, she actually ran again in the Thoroughbred Club of America before she went out to California to win that race. So this race, it really almost fits the exact same pattern. And if you look at her race last year in the ballerina at Saratoga, she got beat, I believe, maybe less than 5 lengths, maybe less than 6 lengths.
Right.
Same thing in this year's race. Like you said, it was a merry-go-round, so she's not really, she finished 6th in the ballerina this year. Little bit of trouble on the far turn, which shows up on the running line. Not entirely too much trouble. I was there. I was, I really kind of was a little bit disappointed. I was disappointed for her, a nice champion like her, that she turned in, sort of a dull effort for her. But, maybe she just doesn't really like Saratoga that much. She comes back. She wins the Presque Isle Masters last year, and the race sets up almost the same way for her again this year. So she might be a short price, but we got a 12-horse field, 14 horses enter, 2 on the also eligibles, so maybe we'll get a little bit of a price with her.